we're cutting USAID and we're doing all these things. Great. You're dealing with complex issues. You're dealing with issues that some of them are very, very long-running issues. And it just seems like Trump was looking for quick ways out. Because they look at him and they say, wow, he had a TV show. My God, he had a TV. I can't believe that. Wow. Trudeau and Macron are saying, if I only had a TV show. Yes, I mean, this is stupidity. This is stupid stuff.
When I moved to Europe in 2015, we were more or less in the era of Assad. We had a lot of. I was in Switzerland, and we had a lot of refugees from Syria arriving every now and then. Back at the time, I remember that when I left Brazil, Russia was helping the United States to fight ISIS, basically. When I arrived a 14-hour flight, when I arrived in Switzerland, Russia was bombing Aleppo. You understand the spin narrative at that time, it wasn't very well tuned. When the SMO started, I saw this perfectly tuned spin of narrative. You could go to Brazilian outlet, you could go to Greek outlet, Italian, anywhere. It was very well organized. This is the narrative. This is what you can say. This is what you cannot say. And we saw this on YouTube. They worked very hard to get that. My impression is that the house of cards was collapsing, and now they just do not have any more grip over any narrative. They are just, as I said, Trump is in a rush because he has 4 years to do something. He's doing everything wrong, trying to fix something. Not everything, but he's just doing in a rush things that need time, as he perfectly put. And I, and people that came here, we discussed this over and over again. This is the general view. The situation that the United States is now is not unreversible, unreverse gear, but by the Durham March. Links on the description. Like the Greek flag Durham t-shirt that Alex is wearing now. They do not reverse. They can't reverse the situation. The United States could be reversed the situation, and I believe that this divorce. This is one thing that I've been also saying here. We are watching a divorce from the United States and China, and this is creating all the movements in the global geopolitics. This could have been controlled, and it's necessary. If you open the Atlas of Economic Complexity, you see that the United States has $1 trillion deficit on the trading. They have to stop spending, and they have to produce more. The guy just said this the other day. The perfect scenario is that we produce more, China buys more, and then China produces less and sells less. Did you talk to the Chinese if that's interesting for them? So it just looks like me, we, mine. What movie was that? Hook.
Ah, yeah. Yes.
Me, mine. That's true. And they're just not paying attention.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They got some quick wins, and I think this kind of distorted maybe Trump's view of things. For example, the border, I think, was very quickly resolved. It was a huge problem under Biden for 3 years. And then Trump came in, and it seems like he solved it. That's the way it looks to me. Maybe I could be wrong about this, but it does look like Trump solved it pretty quick. Most of it. Not all of it, but very quick. Within a month. We're not even talking about the border. It looks like that issue has been solved. The whole woke, DEI stuff, all of that stuff. That was solved very quickly. I'm saying whether you agree with these things or not, I'm saying these are the campaign promises that Trump made. And on these issues, in his first 100 days, he knocked them out pretty quicker than I think most people who voted for Trump expected. Right. So I think if you voted for Trump on his platform of say the border and woke and DEI, all of these things that he was campaigning on, you probably saw, wow, he's solving these things super quick. And he did come into office, and there was a lot of activity and Doge and all of that stuff. We got all these big announcements from Doge. We're cutting USAID, and we're doing all these things. Great. But with foreign policy, it's not moving only at the US's pace. You're dealing with complex issues. You're dealing with issues that some of them are very, very long running issues. And you have to talk to the other countries, and you have to talk to the other powers, and you have to figure out what's going on with them. And it just seems like Trump was looking for quick ways out, and the people advising him led him to believe that these are quick ways out. And much like in his first term, where he believed people like Bolton, to his detriment, to his downfall, really, these people actually brought him down. Pompeo and Bolton, all these guys, he's very much in the same situation, it seems. He's got the Kellogg's, the Mike Waltz. Look what happened with Waltz. All these people, Lindsey Graham, all these people who are telling him the wrong things. But he's
what
going
do they call Lindsey Graham now?
Bone Crusher.
I heard another nickname. I will not repeat it.
Believe my nickname is very flattering for Lindsey Graham. Believe me, if I was Lindsey Graham, I would jump on the nickname that I'm giving him. I would say, yeah, that's that. I want that nickname.
Give me that. Give me
that nickname
in case I lose one.
Yeah, I mean, Lindsey Graham, for example, is telling Trump, let's put 500% secondary tariffs on anyone that buys Russian oil and gas. I mean, it's a stupidity. This is stupid stuff. But Trump hears these things and he says, yeah, okay. And what does he do? He tweets. What's it called on Truth Social? I don't know. He posts about it.
He truths it.
He truths it. And he says, yeah, if Russia doesn't agree to a ceasefire, we're going to place big banking and secondary sanctions. What banking and secondary sanctions are you going to place on Russia, man? You got like 500,000 sanctions on them, and their economy continues to grow. But he's hearing these things, and it sounds really good. And so he's saying, yeah, I'll do that, or that's what we're going to do. This is not how you run foreign policy.
I don't know why, since I mentioned Gonzalo Lira, I don't know why these days I was, just going through my initial page of YouTube. That's always, your video, the Duran, Alexander, and then, the new Atlas, all these guys, the Judge Napolitana. At some point, it gave me a 3 year ago video from Gonzalo Lira. And I watched that, and that was a video 3 years ago talking about the probable China trade war. And I was like, I should rewatch and react to the videos of Gonzalo Lira because they were good. And then I searched for, Coach Red Pill videos, and I found one very interesting video where on Rumble, they are not on YouTube anymore, on Rumble. Where he was saying that the dynamics of geopolitics are very much like the high school teenager dynamics. You have the goth, you have the intelligence, the super intelligence, or the nerds, or the sports guys, and the beautiful women, all those things. And I was watching these days your show, and you were saying about Trump, and it was very interesting to me. I started to pay attention like this on things that he said. That Trump listens to something he doesn't know, he has no idea, and he just spins it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
He just
Exactly
spit
what
it
happens.
out.
The last thing someone tells him
The last thing,
is what he
exactly.
spits out. Yeah, it's exactly what's happening, and it's chaotic. It's chaotic, but you know that it's very true. I think a lot of times, as analysts, a lot of times analysts are overthinking what's going on, and you overthink, and then you come up with these very intricate ideas, and these 5 and 10D chess moves that are being done, always forgetting that at the end of the day, you're dealing with people, and
With people.
people in politics are usually very insecure people.
Mm,
And a lot of times, the people in politics, I mean, I'll tell you this from a European perspective, having contact with in the past with various politicians. You're not dealing with the smartest of people either. I'm not saying they're dumb, but these aren't geniuses either. These aren't people that are writing books on geopolitics or foreign policy. These aren't professor minds, like the minds of a
mhm,
very smart professor, like someone like Jeffrey Sachs, who has a brilliant mind
mhm.
as an economist and as a professor. The politicians, especially in Europe, are not at this level. Not at all. They're not historians. They know very little about history. These are many times you're dealing with some very insecure people who somehow stumbled into politics because they thought it would be a very good way to make money. I'm telling you right now, in Greece and Cyprus, people that get into politics do politics because they're not good at anything else, and they realize this is a great way to make a lot of money, man, without having to be an entrepreneur, without having to do a business, without having to bust my ass 16 hours a day in this business and marketing and product development. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I just have to get into a party. And maybe I've got the gift of
Have
the
some
gab.
drinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
know how to network. And who knows? I could be the Minister of Foreign Affairs one day. And that's when the big bucks are rolling in. And so these are people that are making decisions, and I think this is the type of people that we're dealing with in today's world. I think it was a different situation 30, 40 years ago. Then we had, you know, real serious people and real serious minds. But now it's Big Brother, man. It's
It's Big Brother.
that's
It's
what it
Big
is.
Brother.
That's what it is. And so, we were talking about Zelensky the other day, me and Alexander, and Alexander made some points about Zelensky, and I said, you know what, Alexander, you're right. When it comes to the Europeans, they are in awe of Zelensky. That's a lot of the reason why they are supporting him so much, is because they look at him and they say, wow,
Wow.
wow, he was an
A
actor.
movie star.
Yeah, movie star. He had a TV show. My God, he had a TV. I can't believe that.
Wow.
Trudeau and Macron are saying, if I only had a TV show. And then he went into politics. My God, and he's got this outfit and he's got this persona. I wish I had an outfit and a
Which is
character.
expensive.
Yeah, and they really are looking at him in awe in this way, because they're in such a bubble, without realizing that the rest of the world is laughing at them. But they don't realize that because they're stuck in this little bubble, and they're in that bubble 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it really is a high school.
Yeah.
It really is a dysfunctional, chaotic, dangerous high school environment. And we
With
have to
atomic
live through it.
bombs.
Us as normal, everyday working people, we have to go through what the little cliques and groups that are fighting between these politicians.